to the Buddha of the Basin. Today is Tuesday. Oh, I'm in the summertime, so I don't know what day it is. I know it's July the 22nd. And I know I was motivated today to talk about Barbara Brennan, Saint Germain, the tien, and the seat. Using the violet flame to realign the psyche to the hara line, and the higher self. So we're going to start with some affirmations. Just say them out loud or silently accept them. I have come here to heal myself. I've come here to heal myself. I desire to be healed. I set out to open my crown chakra and perform the violet flame meditation to eradicate misqualified energies, oh yeah. To eradicate misqualified energies, oh yeah. So we're going to begin by finding a quiet space and settling into a comfortable position so you can visualize the violet flame surrounding you or visualize it entering your body and transmuting negative energy. The second part is decrees. There's chanting or speaking decrees, which are specific affirmations or prayers to the violet flame. And that this is Google. We're not praying to the violet flame. The flame is not a conscious entity. It's the seventh level of our energy field, is basically where the vortex at the end of your life, everything moves up to there. And then that's the qualification area. Everything that is truly qualified, that's based upon love and light, you take with you to the next episode. All that's been misqualified just stays behind here. It can't make the transition. So all you're doing is you're activating that transitional vortex energy to get rid of your misqualified thought forms and beliefs and old stuck patterns and traumatic experiences. And if you're familiar with Elizabeth Clare Prophet, she's the one who pioneered this. I mean, Saint Germain is the avatar figure of our Aquarian age. And he has, he's been authorized by the Council of Saturn. This has been since the early 80s, I want to say, right when I was born, or maybe the late 70s. I can't exactly say when I became aware of it around 2001, but I have not faithfully used the violet flame decree, much to my own misery. So let's begin. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame, to light alone I bow. I am a violet flame, a being of violet fire. I am the violet flame, the purity God desires. I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear. I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame, to light alone I vow. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. So, the violet flame is believed to cleanse the aura and remove negative energy. What it does. Google has to tread carefully. So Saint Germain, to make this available to us, this violet flame, Saint Germain went before the Council of Saturn and agreed to accept all negative karma from people misusing the violet flame. But far from misusing it, we are not using it at all. And so let us begin, let us begin to use this. And you need to be aware that I am is the most powerful two words you can utter. So I am a being of violet flyer. Violet flyer. I am a being of violet fire. Come, violet flame, to blaze and blaze and blaze. You see, there's different ways of doing this. You're evoking a violet flame-like energy of love and light, and you're really just activating the energetic space between electrons in your field to come alive. And because in that energetic space between electrons and atoms is where all this sludge is stored collectively. You have all this toxic sludge. So you want the violet flame to come blaze and blaze and blaze, and the plants and elemental creatures. This is what Elizabeth Clare Prophet, she makes these utterances. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And she talks about saying it faster and faster to create that spiraling vortex of energy. Light set me free. Light, I am, I am, I am, I am. Light expands, expands, expands. Light alone I be. You can sort of get into it. You can use music. I don't think it really matters. She has a harp. You can do the piano. I got a ukulele here. The thing is, it's trying to remove the toxic sludge of misqualified energies, negative thought forms, and painful memories that's keeping us in a low vibration. Like the earth herself, we have been saddled with Saturnian baggage that can only be released through the activation of the toroidal vortex potential of the human energy field, which of course is powered by the toroidal vortex power of the human heart when it is given a clear intention to transmute negative energies. So what happens when you use the violet flame? With every beat of our hearts, energy is flowing to us from our higher source. Every moment we decide whether to put a positive or negative spin on it, we have free will to qualify God's energy coming to us. By the law of the circle, the law of karma, that energy will return to us. Our energy choices come back to us, bringing more of the same into our lives. It comes as blessings. It comes as lessons for us to learn to do better and as opportunity to make things right. Negative choices cause negative energy to build up in our cells, our bodies, our psychology, and it creates our limitations. Many refer to this energy as negative karma. This happens on a group level too. In communities, countries, and the world, this group karma affects our destinies. The visualization, affirmation, and meditation on the violet flame consumes this negative energy, transmutes it to positive energy. We can work with this violet flame to turn ourselves and this world around. We can set the energy free. This is all from the Summit Lighthouse. If you go to it's the violetflame.com, the secret of the violet flame. Violet flame as one word, but Summit Lighthouse, violet flame, Elizabeth Clare Prophet. This will certainly get you to where I was just reading from. That's clear enough. And I have truly found benefit in this violet flame meditation and the I am meditation. Just and that seems to be what Saint Germain was known for doing through Guy Ballard, whom he met when Guy Ballard was, I think, near Mount Shasta or in the Grand Tetons. This is areas that were sacred to Saint Germain and the Council of, we will call them the Brotherhood of Light, the masters, whatever you want to call these guys that Madame Blavatsky encountered, and so many others have encountered. Certainly, the yogis of Tibet and India. Anyway, we're talking about belief. You see, the problem with our left brain dominance and with our left temporal parietal junction based theory of mind is that we think it's physical. Let's get physical. I want to get physical. And we don't understand physicality is bigger than what we understand. Physicality does include our thoughts and our emotions. They occupy a physical space. They carry a frequency, radiation, if you will, a wave. They do affect subatomic particles, and they do create a kind of energy that can best be called bioplasma. Okay, but we'll get to bioplasma, because the thing is, if you don't believe something about yourself, if you intend to lift yourself up, but you don't really believe it, right? That's the challenge. So it's belief that the heart and the belly neurons respond to. That's why fake it till you make it so important. You have to convince your own body. Yet that's where your serotonin comes from, right? Your serotonin is produced in your gut. It's the roof of the midbrain too, and the pineal that gives you, melatonin and serotonin. But it's an interface. It's the mind body axis or the gut brain axis. It's this communication between the gut and the heart neurons and the brain that really is what the brain is relying on. The brain is, you can't say the brain is blind because it's got eyes and ears and a nose, but the roof of the midbrain is getting all these inputs, but most of them can be overruled by your default mode of processing. Your brain is not reliant upon the direct information processing. It's trusting the executive sort of settings. You have to go into your settings mode and get yourself out of your default mode network. Now, how do you do that? You do that by switching your dominant eye from your right eye to your left eye. Your left eye, you'll know you've done that when you're looking at the left hemifield, the left side of the room, the left side of the wall, the left side of anything. Are you're feeling energy and blood going through your left arm to your left hand? So that's the energy of mercy in the Kabbalah. Hesed, right? Jupiter, that energy of the left shoulder. It's really what we have to give ourselves. You see, we've all that energy stored up in Gevurah, or Mars energy in the right hand, the right arm, to do battle and to make tools, and that's all wonderful. But it's the left hand that goes back to the hand of mercy, and those two have to be in balance. And so, if you really would like to feel into your gut, it's done through a theory of mind it's the right hemisphere's parietal temporal junction, but I associate it with the left side of my body and the left eye, because this is the side of the left side of your body is governed by your right hemisphere. So again, it's the way to see if you have blood flow and awareness in palms of both of your hands rather than just your right hand, and you feel the center of your feet, and you feel your heart chakra, your heart center, and your stomach. Then you've really got the proper operating system for this new age. Okay. It's just as simple as that. Because if you don't believe, then your brain can send the words down to your larynx, whether it's I am safe, I am loved, I am happy. But the deeper part of you, if it doesn't believe that, then your words are maybe meaningful on one level, but meaningless on an emotional level. And the emotional level is all your body really cares about, because the emotional level is where we are connecting to our human energy field through the bioplasmic streamers of our own intention to grab from others or grab from this world or reconnect back to our higher source. So the books by Barbara Brennan, there's 3, but I can only speak to 2 that I've looked at. Hands of Light, which I read when I lived in Austin, Texas, which is phenomenal, and Light Emerging, which I've never fully finished. It's the book that follows. But these 2 books laid out very clearly. The level of our aura is the level of the 7 chakras that project out spiraling cylindrical columns or jets of this biophotonic light. We know that these chakras are magnetized along the spinal axis and are sealed magnetically over important endocrine centers. They are sealed magnetically with magnetite crystals in alignments that allow for greater conductivity of electrical energy up the spine, while the magnetic flow of the double toroid creates a counterclockwise rotation above the heart and a clockwise rotation below the heart. So our Merkaba is connected to the heart and to the center of the earth. So only lastly do we connect the brain to it. That perhaps is our biggest problem. We have put the brain before the heart and before the center of the earth. So we're completely disconnected, living in toxic sludge factories of our own making that we just deny the existence of, at least as physical material made of this bioplasma that accumulates in our fields. And so we press on for pharmaceutical and sexual satisfaction for our emotional ailments. Well, it's time to pivot towards the new age and lean in to the new healing modalities. Barbara Brennan's book, Hands of Light, is a gateway into that new healing modality based upon the primacy of the human energy field rather than the primacy of the brain or the body. What shows up in the field will affect the body, and it is indeed something the mind can affect. But usually our minds are unconscious of the effects of our repeated thoughts, beliefs, feelings, emotions, and traumatic experiences. Here I will quote Hands of Light as Barbara Brennan gives info on the wonderful scientific study by Valerie Hunt that truly legitimated, or perhaps the word is legitimized instead of legitimated. Anywho, legitimized the science of the study of the human energy field or aura. So I'm going to be quoting Barbara Brennan. The most exciting study I have seen on the human aura was done by Dr. Valerie Hunt and others at UCLA in a study of the effects of rolfing on the body and psyche. Quote, a study of structural neuromuscular energy field and emotional approaches, quote, unquote. She recorded the frequency of low millivoltage signals from the body during a series of rolfing sessions. To make these recordings, she used elementary electrodes made of silver chloride placed on the skin. Simultaneously with the recording of the electronic signals, Reverend Rosalind Breuer of the Healing Light Center, Glendale, California, observed the auras of both the rolfer and the person being rolfed. Her comments were recorded on the same tape recorder as the electronic data. She gave a running report of the color, size, and energy movements of the chakras and auric clouds involved. The scientists then mathematically analyzed the wave patterns recorded by a Fourier analysis and a sonogram frequency analysis. Both revealed remarkable results. Consistent waveforms and frequencies correlated specifically with the colors Reverend Breuer reported. In other words, when Reverend Breuer observed blue in the aura at any specific location, the electronic measurement would always show the characteristic blue waveform and frequency in the same locations. Dr. Hunt repeated the same experiment with 7 other aura readers. They saw auric colors that correlated with the same frequency / wave patterns. February 1988 results of research in progress show the following color frequency correlations in hertz cycles per second. So blue was 250 to 275 hertz plus 1200. Green was 250 to 475 hertz. Yellow, 500 to 700 hertz. Orange, 950 to 1050 hertz. Red, 1000 to 1200 hertz. Violet, 1000 to 2000 plus 300 to 400 and 600 to 800 hertz. White, 1100 to 2000 hertz. Okay. These frequency bands, except for the extra bands at blue and violet, are in reverse order of rainbow color sequence frequencies. Dr. Hunt also stated that chakras frequently carried the colors stated in the metaphysical literature, i.e. Kundalini red, hypogastric orange, spleen yellow, heart green, throat blue, third eye violet, and crown white. Activity in certain chakras seemed to trigger increased activity in another. The heart chakra was consistently the most active. Subjects had many emotional experiences, images, and memory recalls connected with the different body areas rolfed. These findings give credence to the belief that memory of experience is stored in body tissue. Quote, Dr. Hunt's measurements show definite frequencies for definite colors of the aura. These frequencies may have higher overtones that were not recorded due to the limitations of the laboratory equipment involved. Measurements listed above also show the human energy field to be particulate in nature and to have fluid-like motion, like air or water currents. These particles are very tiny, even subatomic according to some investigators. When charged, minute particles move together in clouds, they are usually called plasmas by physicists. Plasmas follow certain physical laws that lead physicists to consider them to be a state between energy and matter. Many of the properties of the human energy field measured in a laboratory suggest a fifth state of matter, which some scientists call bioplasma. Now, Barbara Brennan was a NASA physicist who left it all behind to come do this energy work. And she has since passed away, but her contribution is enormous and will probably be felt forever. To my knowledge, she coined this term, bioplasma. She made these observations, which go one level deeper than what Valerie Hunt was able to document, and that goes to these bioplasmic streamers. So the level of the spirit body, our human energy field, that is 4th density, right? We're in the 3rd density, as they say. So the next level up is that's what we've been talking about. These are the 7 chakras connected to the body, and potentially 2 or 3 more connected respectively to the higher self, the earth, and perhaps the 10th that goes back to source, our connection home. However, between the auric level and the physical body is the tien, or the tien. This little center, about 2 inches or 3 inches below your navel, is the place where you summoned your whole body from, according to Brennan. It is our power center because it phonologically is putting out a tone that is holding out that's holding our whole body in health and homeostasis. This is all from her. She says that when this thing gets damaged, people's legs can even begin to shrivel up, or it's your source of power that connects you to the physical earth and to your body. It's called the tien. It's the area where the martial artists have always considered this to be the storehouse of their power, and you focus on it. Again, this is all also my Substack, Christian DeBlanc 172. Oh gosh, 438. Anywho, Christian DeBlanc Substack or Buddha the Basin. Well, you can probably get to these posts. These are also going to be posted, and that's where the pictures are and the text that I'm reading from. The bottom line is the Dantian connects to the center of the earth and then to the upper Dantian in the roof of the midbrain, where the pineal sits between the supracolliculi, right? And in case you don't know for certain, yes, Google will let us know if that's true. The pineal gland is situated between the superior colliculi, specifically in a groove just above them. It's a small cone-shaped gland located in the epithalamus, part of the diencephalon. This area is in the middle of the brain between the two cerebral hemispheres. The pineal gland is attached to the brain by a stalk, right? Like a plant, a lotus, and is close to the thalamus and the corpus callosum. So, of course, the pineal gland is attached by a stalk to the thalamus and the corpus callosum. It is the jewel in the lotus. Om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, hum. So connecting to it from the thalamus while keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth connects the heart to the brain, and then connects this midbrain to the roof of the midbrain. So chanting the Om Mani Padme Hum also can activate the violet flame, just as calling to it directly. This equilibrates the spin of the 7 chakras because they're all magnetized to the heart and the earth's core. Remember, according to Dr. Estelle Del Rio, they're made out of their iron oxide macromolecules that then, according to the raw material, they crystallize. And in this crystalline alignment, you are more superconductive, able to conduct more energy and channel it more effectively into becoming a better image of the one infinite creator that we all are. And being able to heal others by sending out the bioplasmic streamers of healing and love from the heart center, rather than sending out bioplasmic streamers from the 3rd chakra area of trying to grab energy from other people. That's really what I want to talk about. And it's hard to find much information aside from Barbara Brennan's book, Light Emerging, where she says if it's on the right side of your body, the streamers could be damaged from the 2nd chakra level or the 3rd chakra level or the heart chakra level. Typically is where the damages are 2nd and 3rd. Because you've reached out to a male figure and been hurt in some way by a male figure, by a father or just a male figure. So the right side is where we connect to the masculine individuals in our life or in our childhood, whereas the left side, we connect it to our mother or the female aspect. So if you find issues more on the left side, that relates back to misqualified energies or unbalanced relationships with females or with mother figure or mother figures. And so the goal is just to begin to not make any bioplasmic streamers for a second, so you can just feel what the energy feels like when you're in. This is called the meditation on emptiness, right? In Buddhism. See, Buddhism has been dominated in the Western world by this mindfulness meditation, and the studies really show that it's meditating on emptiness that is much more effective. It's actually simpler. You just don't think about anything. If a thought comes, just kind of relax and let it come and just enjoy it, smile, and don't reach for it. You see, it's about letting that left brain ego grabber sit back and relax, because that's what's happening. We haven't yet fully gone over to the right hemisphere to create a new theory of mind at the sensory parietal junction, where we can begin to think of the energy field first and trust our feelings, and keep the breath centered in the belly, and not leave our body and betray our body to jump into the ego's emanation, if you will. We've tricked ourselves to become dominated by the language center of our brain and try to make everybody else fit into specified categories of behavior. So we try to control others or control ourselves or our whole reality according to our presuppositions, which are obviously not based upon all the information, much less the information of the actual body, what the body's feeling and what the body's experienced. It's all just silly. So we have to get back to harmony and equilibration of the spin of the chakras, and we need to calm down our bioplasmic streamer so we can actually center at the heart and send people love from the heart. You see, that's all you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to send people love from the heart. You're getting your energy it's coming down through the crown chakra, like that violet flame that you can activate. The energy is always coming down through you. More than that, you have a laser light that connects your identification point above your head and core of the earth. And that's called the hara line, this sort of laser light that most of us have been disconnected from, have turned away from our purpose. And therefore we refuse to believe there is a purpose for us or a purpose for earth or, for humanity in general. So the trick is to lower ourselves down into the alpha brainwave, so our hemispheres are united. And then it becomes possible to reconnect to this hara line. So although most of us think of Marlon Brando from Apocalypse Now, the hora, or he says it like the hara, or perhaps we think about harikari or harikari, which is the Japanese ritualistic suicide. So that the latter is closer to reality. That's the spot where they plunge their swords right into the lower half of the solar plexus chakra, just below the navel, pretty close to the tien. The hara is at a deeper level of the field than the auric level. So the tien is at one level, which you can argue is more closely akin to the aura. You can even argue it's one level closer. It gets ridiculous, these different levels. So anywho, the tien is what you can more or less feel into. The hara is more about reconnecting it's the whole line. It's about the top of your head, letting the top of your head connect back to your ID point. So you usually have to scoot your head slightly back, and you have to kind of relax your tailbone so you can kind of reground into the earth. It's like a physical change of your posture that helps you reconnect to this hara line that Barbara Brennan said only about 30% of us even connect to a little bit at a time. It's most of us don't even know this thing exists as something you could connect to. It's called the silver cord, in other sort of I don't know, new age folklore, the silver thread, the gossamer thread. So the hara is at the 5D level. This is the causal body because it connects us to our cause for being alive. Right? It's what caused you to come here. This was your way you came in, this hara line. Then from the hara line, right above, sort of at the next level closer to materiality, you get the tien, and the tien, this little spherical essence puts out this sound that magnetically is drawing the matter from Earth that helps to create your body. And then your heart and your tongue and your larynx are all pretty much formed from the same tissue. And so all that is connected, your heart and your tongue and your larynx. So that when you touch your tongue to the roof of your brain, you've connected your whole heart center and to the brain. You've reconnected. It's very much possible to live this connected, aligned life with your purpose, you see. So in Barbara Brennan's healing science, the hara and the soul seat, you see, there's the soul seat of the heart center and the hara just below the soul in the solar plexus center. Their key concepts relate to the human energy field and spiritual connection. So the hara is a dimension of intentionality, holding the body in manifestation until life purpose is fulfilled. It includes the ID point, which is above your head. That's the gateway that you enter the body, because you have the ID, then you have the little fontanelle, soft spot, top of the head, you enter, right? Then you have the soul seat, which sits above the heart, which is really where the Da'ath zone is in the Kabbalah. And then you have the tien down there closer to Yesod in the Kabbalah, each contributing to the individual's purpose and connection to the universe. The soul seat specifically is located in the upper chest and is associated with our spiritual longing and life purpose, which for most of us, she says, darkens. We don't know what our life purpose is. So we have the hara and the ID point. The ID point is 3.5 feet above the head. It represents the point of individuation from the Godhead, or the oneness, and holds the knowledge of one's life purpose. Then you have the soul seat, which is our passions, our desire, what we come into this life to do. You see, then the tien, and that's where we had the intention to summon our body to fulfill this soul longing. Okay, and it's all in one line called the hara line. And so as we realign both as individuals and groups, we remember how we came here. Meanwhile, what is actually happening to us neurocognitively is that we are switching from the left temporal parietal junction-based theory of mind, which is based upon materialistic, logical, reductionistic values of the left hemisphere, to a right temporal parietal-based theory of mind, based upon the heart's electromagnetic energy field in resonance with both the brain and the earth's molten core. You see, this is the beginning, or this is bringing us bringing us to heart-centered awareness, which is key and critical to maintaining this fourth density consciousness experience that we are now having on this planet as we become one. Om Shanti Om. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum.